just been talking about how exciting that Greg's recent trip was down to Sale City, Georgia, where he visited the Sapp family farm and got to see the LiveStock steel, one of our first new installations here in the southeast. That new material being put to great use. What was your experience there, Greg?
Well, I mean, Glenn and the whole family was just wonderful to work with. They very professional people, but very family oriented, you know, and which really goes along with our mission and our values, and just blessed to be there with those guys and to see what a great product that they've brought to bear there for their farm, for their cows, for their horses, you know, and they're farmers. I mean, they do peanut farming. I'm sure they do other stuff. They got thousands of acres of farms that they do, so they really hit the sweet spot when it comes to the people that we're trying to serve with LiveStock steel. Tom, I had the opportunity, obviously, to spend time with the Sapp family, and I took the opportunity to talk to Glenn about the product. Sadly, we had a lot of wind, so the quality of the video is not pristine, but I wanted to cut to him for a moment and just listen to some of the things that he had to say about LiveStock steel.
The reason we went with the Guardrail was mainly a safety issue. Our number one thing we do is farm, and the cows and the horses are a side hobby for us, and we needed something for safety to where none of us, we could eliminate getting hurt. Families heavily involved, have kids, and a little girl barrel races and need something whenever she's practicing, and you know, she won't get cut up as bad if she falls on this compared to a barbed wire or wood splintering and hurting her. So it was economical in the long run for us, safety wise and looks. It's just a good, sturdy, safe product over wood or wire fence.
So, Greg, when you came back from that trip, you were very excited about what you saw in the pristine nature of that particular installation down in Sale City. Can you tell us what made you so excited about what you saw being put to use right there?
Well, they've just, again, they've done such a great job of installing LiveStock steel. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things that is so attractive about LiveStock steel is that it's brand new.
Right.
It's always consistent in its quality and its availability, right? It's super shiny galvanized steel. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that impressed the Sapps, was that it was brand new. And they wanted something that looked great. You know, used Guardrail sometimes has some inconsistencies, right? And this doesn't. And I mean, all the angles, they had 45s and 90s. They drew out their own plans to make sure that everything looked wonderful, and they followed that plan.
Exactly.
And, you know, they used 8x8 posts.
Wow.
There's not a bull getting out of that,
not
corral, let me tell you. And not only that, I mean, they thought it through very well, and they executed. Mm-hmm. And it's just a fine looking corral chute, you know, feedlot system. Exactly. That's going to serve them for years to come.
Greg, you mentioned that the Sapp family farm is a family operation.
Right.
So what was it about their family heart and sense of their business that matched up with the mission of LiveStock steel, about the consistency and the quality and the safety of that product?
Well, LiveStock steel, right? Agricultural's Guardrail.
Exactly.
You know, right. These guys understand that, and they really were in tune with wanting not only their livestock to be safe, but also their family. I mean, they have, you know, dad's involved, brothers are involved, kids are involved, the wives are involved, as well as their hands. Exactly. You know, but when they were working the animals, they wanted to have a product that was safe for the animals and safe for them. Sure. You know, obviously with board fence, a lot of times, you know, when there's an agitated cow, it can get
right
unruly and go right through, right?
Like it's butter.
Exactly. And so, you know, you're not going to do that with LiveStock steel.
Exactly. And
not only that, you know, their girls barrel race, and they wanted to have a product that if they were thrown off the horse. I mean, you know, albeit that the child's going to be hurt when it hits the guardrail, all right? But at least it's not going to splinter and impale them or stab them or something like that. It's going to reflect, and it'll minimize the amount of damage, not only to their loved one, but also to the animals around them.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Another reason for the safety aspect of putting up the livestock steel panel, that 12 inches spaced on there 3 or 4 times, is a visual deterrent for that animal. It communicates to them that there's a solid barrier there and they need not try to break through it.
Exactly.
You know, so that solid barrier is a big factor. So I want to go back and ask you a question. You had mentioned barrel racing as
Right.
one of the factors, one of the influences and the benefits that they're getting out of their arena
Right.
that they built with livestock steel. What are the other things that this is used for, and how is it a multiple use kind of facility
Right.
for this family?
Well, you know, it's big. You know, it's impressive just to see. You know, it's probably like a 200 by 100,
Okay.
you know, arena feedlot, so that's just impressive. But they're using it primarily for their daughter who barrel races.
Okay.
You know, so they've got the barrel set up. You know, again, you know, from a safety perspective, they wanted a product that, you know, if she were to hit it, it wouldn't splinter, it wouldn't impale, wouldn't hurt the animal. But they're obviously feeding their animals, you know, there. From the feedlot, they can move them into the corrals through the chutes that they've created. So it's very easy to move animals one to another. They also have horses. So not just 1 or 2, but I think they've got maybe 10 horses or so. So they can get them in there, work their horses as well. It's a wonderful arena. It's beautiful. You know, you can get around it very easily. They've got a large berth there, and it goes out into their main pasturing area.
Sounds like one of the benefits there that I hear you talking about is that facility has multiple use options and a lot of room for growth in the future.
Yes.
They constructed something that if they need to block off a part of it, they can. If they need to use it to sort cattle, they can. They need to use it as an area set aside for the barrel racing and training and practice, then they've got that arena set up for that.
Exactly.
And a lot of expandability for future activities. Sounds like there's going to be a lot going on there.
It looks like it, yeah. And you know, I think one of the other things that they were mentioning is that they could break their horses in that arena.
That's great.
You know, they've got plenty of space to do such a thing. So it's multi-purpose. I mean, arenas are great to have on the farm.
Right.
You can just use it for so many different things. And so it really was a great product. Again, just a testament to the Sapp family, them thinking ahead, them using something that's such a quality product that will last them a lifetime.
Right. Well, this has been great, Greg, to listen to your story about what you experienced. Real live application, real live family that put livestock steel to use for them and for their future and for multi-use kind of applications. It seems to stand out to me that the idea of the consistency of the livestock steel, the production consistency and the quality of it being unquestioned and unmatched, and also how it worked well with their attitude of excellence as a family. And they had a high value of safety, high value of wanting to produce excellence in their facility. You got to see that hands-on and talk to the people who made it happen. Again, thank you so much to Glenn Sapp and the Sapp family being there to let us come in and see this in a lived out form.
To all you wonderful people who have bought livestock steel and are thinking about buying livestock steel, we'd love to come visit you. See your farm. 37 plus miles now of livestock steel around the nation and growing every day.
Absolutely. Not even been a year yet and it's already breaking out into that industry. It's going throughout the cattle industry. Agricultural's own Guardrail is making its debut across the nation.
It's being featured in Farm Show and other things like that. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to serve you.